CEO's heartwarming promise exposed. Girl's incredible piano skills transform her fate in days. In the heart of a small Midwestern town, a 12-year-old girl named Lily poured her heart into an old piano, dreaming of a life beyond the struggles that defined her daily existence. Her mother, Carol, juggled 2 jobs, the weight of their financial strain always threatening to steal their laughter. But inside their modest home, music wove a tapestry of joy. Laughter mingled with the tinkling keys as they danced through the noisy chaos of life. Each note was a celebration, a promise of something greater. Yet, Lily couldn't shake the feeling that her dreams of becoming a pianist might be just that, dreams that would stay buried under the realities of unpaid bills and endless chores. Then came the night a well-known CEO, Mr. Thompson, rolled into town for a charity gala, spreading hope like wildfire. His promises of funding music education ignited excitement. People whispered about the possibilities. But as the chatter grew, so did the fear that profits, not purpose, would steer his decisions. Disappointment loomed like a shadow, dampening the town's enthusiasm. Amidst this uncertainty, Lily discovered an old piano in the church basement. Dust and cobwebs cloaked it, but for her, it was a treasure. Finding solace in the quiet of the empty building, she practiced every chance she got, pouring her soul into each note, writing her own symphony of hope. Before long, her natural talent caught the attention of her school principal, who saw in Lily a shining star. They organized a talent show, hoping she could enchant Mr. Thompson with her performance. Excitement bubbled within her, but so did anxiety. Carol worried, insisting that Lily focus on stable options. Their discussions grew heated, echoing through the walls like a hurtful melody. Lily felt the tension close in, each argument breaking the harmony of their bond. Could she truly create a better life through music? Or would it only lead to heartache? As the date approached, whispers filled the halls. Some classmates eyed her with jealousy, grappling with their own struggles. Each practice felt weighted. What if she didn't impress the CEO? With the world watching, her heart raced. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. On the night of the show, the auditorium buzzed with excitement. The lights flickered like fireflies, illuminating the stage where dreams teetered on the edge of possibility. Lily stood backstage, heart hammering in her chest, her fingers trembling. She stepped into the spotlight, breathing in the scent of polished wood and anticipation. The first note slipped from her fingers like a whisper, a tender sound that held the poignant sorrow of her life and the beauty of her determination. As she played, stories unfolded in every chord, a tapestry of struggles met with resilience and hope. Mr. Thompson leaned forward, captivated, torn between appreciating her gift and the looming demands of his corporate ambitions. As her performance reached a soaring crescendo, everything hung in the air: the weight of dreams, the promise of change, and the love of a daughter desperately trying to make things right. Would this be the moment that changed everything? Lily's heart raced as she poured every ounce of emotion into her music. The world around her faded away, the bright stage lights, the faces in the crowd, the booming sound of applause fading into a whisper. All that existed was her, the piano, and the soundscape she had created. With each swift movement of her fingers, she broke free from the weight of her struggles, from the burden of her mother's worries, and from the doubts that crowded her mind. As she reached the final note, a hush fell across the auditorium, as if time had momentarily stopped. Breathless, she lifted her hands and allowed the silence to envelop her. A moment later, the crowd erupted into cheers, loud and thunderous, filling every corner of the space. Lily scanned the audience, searching for Carol's face. She found her mother in the back, tears glistening in her eyes. In that instant, an intense wave of warmth flooded Lily's heart. Perhaps, just perhaps, this was the turning point they had both been waiting for. Thompson's gaze remained fixed on her, the flicker of surprise etched on his features. What had he expected? A cute kid with piano lessons? No, this was something deeper, a profound connection to the music that transcended mere performance. After all, the rhythm of life was much like a melody, blending highs, lows, and unexpected shifts. He rose slowly, applause breaking from his lips, mirroring the crowd's fervor. But even as the crowd celebrated, doubt crept back into Lily's mind. Would this performance be enough? Would Mr. Thompson see beyond the notes? Or would her dreams remain just that, dreams? She could feel the weight of tomorrow resting on her shoulders. Suddenly, Mr. Thompson stepped toward the stage, his presence striking and authoritative. He raised his hand to quiet the crowd. "Ladies and gentlemen," he began, his voice resonating through the auditorium, "tonight, we've witnessed true talent. Lily, your playing has left us all in awe." The audience cheered again, but Lily's heart sank. What if the applause was just momentary, fading like echoes of her past? "I believe in supporting the arts and ensuring every child can have access to music education," Mr. Thompson continued, pacing slightly. "I want to present Lily with an opportunity, an internship at my music program, where she can grow, learn, and shine even brighter." Lily's breath caught in her throat. Could this be real? A chance to follow her dreams? She searched for Carol's eyes once more, a mix of hope and fear running through her. Carol's expression mirrored her own shock, then shifted to a smile of disbelief. But just as excitement surged through Lily, a pang of apprehension lingered. As soon as the applause died down, whispers began to ripple through the crowd. Was this only about funding? What would Mr. Thompson truly want from her? Would success in the music world mean sacrificing the family bonds she cherished? "Thank you," she finally managed, her voice trembling. It felt small against the enormous moment unfolding before them. "I would love the opportunity." After the show, as Lily stepped off the stage, the weight of countless expectations settled heavy on her shoulders. Mr. Thompson approached her, a practiced grin on his face, yet uncertainty danced in his eyes. "Lily, let us talk about the next steps." But as they spoke, doubt lingered like a shadow. Would this path lead to freedom or pull her away from everything she held dear? And then, amidst the post-performance euphoria, Carol pulled Lily aside, her expression serious. "Sweetheart, I'm proud of you. But remember, every opportunity comes with its own challenges." Lily nodded, but her heart was conflicted. Could she truly take this step without losing sight of her family? With dreams tantalizingly within reach, she felt the gravity of the moment. The following days would hold everything, decisions that could change their lives, the hope of a better future, and the fear of what that might cost. Would Lily find a way to balance her passion for music with her love for her mother, or would she be caught in a whirlwind of ambition, leaving behind the foundation of her dreams? As she lay awake that night, the weight of uncertainty hung heavy in the air. In the quiet hour before dawn, she whispered aloud, "What if I can have it all?" But would that dream come true, or would she have to choose between love and ambition? The sun rose quietly the next morning, and with it came a new layer of hope mixed with lingering fear. The news of her performance spread with lightning speed. Lily could hardly breathe as she opened her phone to find messages from friends and family, all brimming with congratulations. It felt surreal, like living in a dream she never wanted to wake from. And yet, beneath all that excitement lay a deep, gnawing worry. Over breakfast, a tense silence blanketed the kitchen. Carol stirred her coffee absently, her eyes darting between the newspaper and her daughter. The headline read, "Young Prodigy Steals the Show," highlighting Lily's name in bold letters. With every passing moment, the invisible thread connecting mother and daughter felt frayed. "Mom," Lily finally broke the silence, her voice shaky, "are you okay? You seem distant." Carol looked up, her expression softening. "I'm just trying to wrap my mind around everything, sweetheart. You've worked so hard, and now it feels like the world is opening up for you." Lily tried to smile, but the thought of Mr. Thompson's offer loomed over her like a storm cloud. But what if this changes everything? What if it's not what I think it is? I want you to pursue your dreams, Carol said, her voice steady, but I don't want you to feel pressured to carry the weight of expectations. You need to choose what's best for you. Those words hung in the air, filled with profound love and concern. Lily felt an ache in her heart. How could she weigh her dreams against the fears of a mother who sacrificed so much for her? Days piled on into one another, filled with decision after decision. When Lily stepped closer to Mr. Thompson again, the urgency in their conversations grew. His excitement was contagious, but his intent remained clouded. She couldn't help but feel like a pawn in a game she didn't yet understand. One afternoon, as she practiced for an upcoming showcase, she stumbled over the notes. Frustration gripped her. What's the point? She suddenly declared, slamming her hands onto the keys. The dissonance echoed through the empty room, striking like a chord of despair. Just then, her phone buzzed on the piano. It was a video call from her best friend, Mia. "Hey, superstar." Mia beamed brightly from the screen, her energy a refreshing burst of air. "I'm so proud of you. I just wanted to see how you were doing." Lily forced a smile. "Thanks, Mia. I guess I'm just trying to figure things out." "Figure things out?" Mia laughed. "You've got the talent, and everyone sees it. You can't let doubts take over now." It was true. Lily could feel the cracks of her confidence beginning to mend the more she rehearsed. And every time her fingers danced over the piano keys, it was like a little spark ignited inside her, a glimmer of security in her choices. Could she really trust herself? That night, while lying in bed, she recalled the warmth of the piano beneath her fingers during her performance. For a moment, she believed in those fleeting thoughts of harmony between her dreams and her family, but as sleep took hold, another thought flickered. Was she ready for what lay ahead, or would her passion lead to irrevocable change, making her question what she'd risked? The next morning, something unexpected happened. A message appeared on her phone, drawing her from her morning fog. It was from Mr. Thompson, and it read, "We need to meet. Important opportunity." Lily's heart raced. This was it. Would she have the courage to embrace the unknown, or would fear hold her back? The next step of her journey was just around the corner, but would she find the answers she sought, or would this be another path leading her away from everything she loved? Lily's heart raced as she stood in front of the mirror, her reflection a mix of excitement and anxiety. The moment she had both dreaded and longed for was finally here. Mr. Thompson's message had ignited a fire in her belly, but now as she put on her best outfit, hesitation began to creep in. What was this important opportunity? How could her life change again, and would she be ready for it? She took a deep breath, trying to steady her nerves. Her fingers brushed over the keys of her piano, a familiar touch that always offered comfort. It felt strange to leave the unfinished notes behind, but she knew she had to step out into the world beyond those four walls. With a determined nod, she grabbed her phone, keys, and a small notebook filled with scribbles of her dreams, and headed out the door. The sun was bright overhead, casting a warm glow as she made her way to the cafe where they would meet. Each step filled her with uncertainty, but it was the thrill of possibility that urged her forward. When she arrived, she spotted Mr. Thompson seated at a table, a confident smile on his face as he waved her over. "Lily. So glad you could make it." His enthusiasm was infectious, and for a moment, it pushed her anxiety aside. "Thank you for inviting me," she replied, sliding into the chair opposite him. As they exchanged pleasantries, Lily could feel the weight of anticipation closing in on her. Mr. Thompson took a sip of coffee and leaned in, his voice low and sincere. "You've made quite an impression, you know. Everyone is talking about your performance. There's an opportunity one think you should consider." Her pulse quickened, and she struggled to keep her expression neutral. "What kind of opportunity?" "There's a talent agency that wants to represent you. They've seen your potential and think you could be the next big thing in music." We could get you studio time, collaborations, everything you need to really take off. Lily's head spun. Her dreams were suddenly laid out in front of her like a shimmering path. Yet with that shimmer came a blinding fear. But what if I can't handle it? What if I don't live up to the hype? Mr. Thompson tilted his head, his gaze steady and reassuring. Lily, you've been working hard for this. It's not just hype, it's your talent shining through. Why not give yourself a chance? His words echoed her mother's advice, bouncing around in her mind. Pursue her dreams, but on her own terms. Before she could respond, her phone buzzed again. A message from Mia flashed on the screen, "You got this. Just be yourself." The encouragement felt like a lifeline, and she glanced back up at Mr. Thompson, her resolve strengthening. "Okay, I'll think about it. But I need time to consider the implications, the pressure." "Absolutely," he said, his smile unwavering. "I'll give you what you need. Just know that this kind of chance doesn't come along often. Don't let fear decide your future." As they spoke, the atmosphere in the cafe buzzed with the chatter of other patrons, but Lily felt like the room had faded away, leaving just the two of them. But unbeknownst to her, a familiar face entered through the doorway, someone who would readily stir the pot of her indecision and redefine her understanding of family and support. When she turned, there was her mother, Carol, standing at the entrance, wide-eyed, and full of questions. Lily's heart sank. She hadn't expected to see her there, and now everything felt complicated again. Was her mother here to support her or steer her away? The interplay of emotions hung thick in the air as Carol met Lily's gaze. This was a turning point, one that could either bind them together or pull them apart. Would her mother stand by her, or would this new opportunity spark a rift? Lily's dreams hung delicately, tethered to the relationships in her life, and as she caught her mother's wary expression, the uncertainty clouded around her like a mist. Would she find the strength to follow her dreams, and if so, at what cost? Lily's stomach knotted as her mother took a cautious step forward. Carol's eyes flickered between Lily and Mr. Thompson, suspicion dancing across her features. The cafe buzzed with life, yet in that moment, it felt like a vacuum where only their tense energy lingered. "Mom," Lily said, attempting to bridge the sudden chasm. "What are you doing here?" "I just wanted to see how you were doing," Carol replied, her voice steadier than her expression. "You didn't mention you were meeting with anyone." Lily felt the heat of embarrassment creep up her neck. "I didn't think it was a big deal. It's just Mr. Thompson has some ideas about my music." The slight twitch of her mother's lip suggested doubt, but she held her tongue. Instead, Carol turned to Mr. Thompson, extending a cautious smile. "Hi, I'm Carol. Lily's mom." "Pleasure to meet you, Carol," he said, extending his hand. "I was just discussing an exciting opportunity for your daughter." Lily's heart raced. How could she explain this to her mother? There was so much to unravel: the agency, her dreams, the fear lurking in the shadows. "Opportunity?" Carol asked, her voice dripping with skepticism. "Oh." Lily could feel the tension rising between them. Mr. Thompson had been nothing but supportive, believing in her talent. Yet Carol's guarded reaction reminded her of the past, the countless times they had clashed over her music. Concern would always bubble just beneath her mother's surface, warning her to tread carefully. "I think Lily has a real shot at something special in music," Mr. Thompson said, his voice friendly but firm. "With the right guidance, she can go far." Carol's gaze swung to Lily, searching for answers. "Is that what you really want, sweetheart? To dive into all this?" Lily hesitated, swallowing hard. I think so. It could be amazing, Mom. The chance to record, write, to really share my music. Or to become just another cog in a machine," Carol interrupted, her worry painted all over her brow, the words cut deeper than Lily expected. "That's not fair. You've always wanted me to take risks and chase my dreams." "Yes, but I want you to be cautious too. This world is tough. I didn't work my whole life so you could end up unhappy. Tears of frustration pricked at the corners of Lily's eyes. You think I want to be happy? You think I'll just fail? Can't you just trust me for once? Mr. Thompson intervened gently, sensing the storm between mother and daughter. How about we give Lily some space to think this through? No pressure. Just a great opportunity to explore. Carol's rigid posture softened slightly. Do you really want this, Lily? Can you handle what that means? This isn't just about talent, it's about the business. The pressure. Mom, I've been preparing for this my whole life, Lily shot back, her heart pounding. I want to fly, but you keep pulling me down. The table fell silent as the three of them sat there, the tension coiling tighter. Lily felt trapped between reaching for her dreams and the fear of disappointing her mother. She didn't want to choose. Finally, Carol lowered her voice, vulnerability surfacing. I just don't want you to get hurt. I want the best for you. We can be a team. Being a team sometimes means letting go, Mom, Lily said softly, her eyes locking onto her mother's. I need you to support me, even when it's hard. Can you try? Carol's relief was almost palpable, and Lily noticed how her mom's shoulders softened. But before they could bridge this gap, her phone buzzed again, distracting her. Another message from Mia, be bold, Lily. This is your moment. Lily bit her lip, feeling torn. She wanted to charge forward but didn't want to risk losing the family connection. Let's just think about it, she finally said, her voice quieter now. Can we at least do that? A tense silence filled the air once more. Yet within that silence lay a flicker of hope, the chance that they could find common ground. But just as Lily felt a small ember of determination reignite, her gaze shifted to the cafe entrance. Another figure had stepped in, someone unexpected, someone from her past. Lily's stomach dropped again. What if the reunion altered everything she thought she knew about herself? What if this was the twist she hadn't prepared for? The figure stood framed in the cafe doorway, the light catching their familiar features. It was Ethan, her long-lost childhood friend. His hair was longer, a tide of curls edging around his face. The boyish charm was still there, but there was a maturity in his expression that tugged at Lily's heart. Memories cascaded through her mind, late-night jam sessions, the secrets they shared, the dreams they once crafted together under the stars. But that was before he moved away, before everything changed. What is he doing here? Lily's mind raced as she exchanged a glance with Mr. Thompson and then her mother. The air was thick with unspoken words, and her pulse quickened at the thought of facing him again. Ethan spotted her, his face lighting up like a summer's day. He strode across the cafe, effortlessly parting the sea of tables and patrons. Lily. It's been ages. His voice was warm, a comfort blanket thrown over a chilly night. Ethan, she breathed, still processing the shock of their reunion. How could such a moment disrupt everything she had just begun to sort out with her mom? I was just in town, and I thought I'd stop by this cafe, he said, eyes darting between her and Carol. You look amazing. You're still doing music, right? Lily's heart beat an irregular tattoo in her chest. Yeah, I am, she replied, forcing a smile while feeling her mother's eyes on her, assessing and perhaps judging. I'm so glad to hear that. I remember how passionate you were about it. Ethan's grin softened, and just like that, the years melted away. Maybe we can have a little jam session again, like we used to. Maybe, she said, but a knot of hesitation lingered. Memories of their carefree times felt sweet but tainted by self-doubt. She glanced at her mother, whose face was a mask of confusion. Lily's busy with school and projects, Carol interjected, her protective instincts kicking in. And it's a big step she's considering for her music. Ethan's expression shifted, concern etching itself across his brow. Oh, I didn't mean to intrude. I just thought I'd love to support you. I know how hard you've worked. Lily's breath caught at his words. Did he truly understand? Did he know how many nights she lay awake, imagining the music rather than sleeping? I really want to do this, she said, feeling empowered even under the weight of her mother's worried gaze. The chance to share my music, the chance to show the world who I am. Ethan's smile brightened again. Then you should go for it. No one should hold you back from what makes you happy. He turned to Carol, his tone earnest. You know that, right? It's important for her to explore. Sure, it sounds great in theory, Carol replied sharply, ever the watchful protector. But life isn't always what it seems, you know. Lily's frustration flickered. Would her mother ever truly understand? Did she always have to live under her mother's cautious shadow? The growing tension clawed at her, but Ethan stepped in to lighten the mood. You two are like a classic rock duet, aren't you? A little harmony and a little discord. He winked, the electric energy of their past hung in the air, almost palpable. And Lily realized, in the middle of this chaos, something had shifted in her heart, the promise of a new beginning, yet the sense of an unresolved chapter with Ethan lingered as well. The moment brought clarity to Lily. She needed to figure herself out, for once, without the echoes of the past clouding her dreams. But as Ethan turned to look at her, determination igniting behind his deep brown eyes, she knew the reunion might just be the spark she needed. Will you still be here tomorrow? She asked, excitement and nervousness intertwining. I wouldn't miss it, he replied, heartwarming sincerity swelling in his voice. Just let me know where to be. As he walked back to his table, Lily felt a rush of adrenaline. This could be the turning point. But deep inside, a nagging question surfaced: was this connection enough to fuel her dreams without pulling her in opposing directions? And as Ethan's laughter mingled with the cafe's hum, she couldn't help but wonder, would this rekindled friendship become her greatest support or a distraction from the soaring heights she aimed to reach? The cafe buzzed around Lily, but her thoughts were with Ethan, their carefree childhood moments swirling in her mind like leaves caught in a windstorm. The familiar warmth of his voice still lingered, and she couldn't shake the feeling that something monumental had just begun. She looked at her mother, expecting a hint of disapproval, a rolled eye, anything that hinted at disappointment. But Carol was staring out the window, lost in her own contemplation. Mom. Lily's voice broke her mother's reverie. Carol turned, her expression uncertain. Are you okay? Lily asked, hopeful this conversation with Ethan hadn't turned her mood south. Just thinking, Carol said, and her voice trailed off. It's been a long time since you've seen him. I just worry. Lily sighed. I know, Mom. But I need this. I need to see where my music can take me. A shadow crossed Carol's face, and Lily knew her mother was mulling over the idea of the past, the choices made, and the fear of the unknown. It's not that easy, Lily. Maybe it can be, Lily countered, her frustration bubbling closer to the surface. You always say to follow my dreams, but you're the first to remind me of all the risks. Because I care. I want you to be safe, Carol said, her tone edged with worry, but it only fueled Lily's irritation. I'm tired of living in fear, Mom. I have to take risks. Isn't that what growing up is about? Their eyes locked for a moment, an electricity buzzing between them, unspoken feelings running deeper than the words could express. It was a battle of love and fear, wanting safety but needing freedom. Just then, Ethan approached again, halting the dynamic at the table. Hey, I hope I'm not interrupting, he said, glancing between them. You're not, Lily said too quickly. She could feel her cheeks burning, but she forced a smile. I just wanted to invite you both to a little open mic night tomorrow, Ethan suggested. It could be a good chance for you, Lily, to share your music. No pressure, just a way to dip your toes in. Lily felt her breath catch. The thought of performing again, even in a casual setting, brought excitement and panic in a tight bundle. She turned to her mom, searching for approval, knowing how important it was not just for her, but for the relationship they were trying to rebuild. Carol hesitated, weighing her fears against the aspirations she had for her daughter. "It sounds interesting," she finally said, a note of concession coloring her voice. Ethan nodded enthusiastically. "It'll be fun. A chance to reconnect with the music and with people who love it. Plus, I'll be there to cheer you on." Lily's heart raced. "Okay, let us do it," she said, determination flooding her words. The corner of Ethan's mouth quirked into a smile again, and something inside Lily sparked. They were about to step into something new, a new beginning maybe, where dreams could breathe. Suddenly, the cafe door swung open again, and a cold breeze rushed through, catching the warmth of their moment like a predator. A group of teens spilled inside, laughing and jostling one another, their energy electric and contagious. It was an invasion of youthful cheerfulness that made Lily smile even more broadly, her spirits lifting. She turned back to Ethan, thoughts racing with possibilities. "I'll practice tonight," she said, excitement bubbling over. "I can show you something I'm working on." "Looking forward to it," he replied, nodding, visibly excited about the prospect. But as they exchanged glances, Lily felt a twinge of uncertainty again. Could she really juggle her past with her present? And deeper still, could their reconnecting bring destruction as easily as it could bring support? Just then, Ethan leaned a little closer. "You know, I've missed you. My time here has been less than great without my best friend." The sincerity in his voice made her heart flutter, but also raised the stakes of her dilemma. Could this friendship withstand the pressure of their past combined with her future aspirations? As the cafe buzzed around them, Lily made a silent vow to herself she wouldn't let fear dictate her choices anymore. Perhaps she was ready to take the plunge, but only time would reveal whether she would swim or sink. Could this open mic be more than a step into music for Lily? Would it be a pivotal moment in redefining her life and her relationship with Ethan? Lily sat on the edge of her bed, the glow of her string lights casting a warm halo in the otherwise dim room. Her guitar lay across her lap, the soft hum of melodies that had been trapped inside her for so long were now begging to be released. She strummed softly, the strings vibrating under her fingers, each note echoing her nervousness and excitement in equal measure. Tomorrow was the open mic night. A single event wasn't supposed to hold so much weight, yet it felt like the entire world rested on her shoulders. She let her finger glide over the strings, and music filled the space, but her mind was cluttered with thoughts of Ethan and the years that had slipped by. Was this night the beginning of something new or a crushing reminder of what they'd lost? The soft knock on her door pulled her from her spiral of thoughts. "Lily, honey, do you want to talk?" Carol's voice came gently through the door. With a sigh, Lily set the guitar down and opened the door. Her mother stood there, arms crossed and a look of concern draping her features. "I just wanted to see how you were feeling about tomorrow," Carol said, stepping inside. "A little nervous," Lily admitted, biting her lip. "But also, excited? I guess." "Excited is good," Carol replied, though she still looked uncertain. "But maybe you should think about that risk you mentioned earlier. I don't want you to get hurt." "Mom, I'm not a kid anymore. I need to be able to stand on my own, even if it means falling sometimes," Lily said, feeling the drone of frustration creep back in. "I want to share my music, to feel that connection." "I thought you understood that." Carol stepped closer, her brow furrowing. "I do understand, sweetheart. But the piano, what if it's too much? The stage fright, the crowd? What if it doesn't go the way you hope? What if it does?" Lily countered, her spirit igniting with promise. "What if I go out there and everything clicks? What if people like it? And what if, just maybe, it changes everything?" For a moment, they stood in silence, and Carol softened. "You're right," she said, a small smile creeping onto her face. "You've always been so brave, always pushing against your fears. I just worry about you." Lily reached for her mother's hand. "I appreciate that, Mom. But I need you to trust me. I can do this." Carol studied her for a beat, and then nodded, the worry lines around her mouth easing. Okay. Just know that I'll be there cheering you on, no matter what. Lily's heart swelled with warmth, reassuring her that they were in this together, even through uncertainty. Later that night, she sat down at her piano, eyes closed, allowing her fingers to dance over the keys. A slow melody started to take shape, and each note filled the room with echoes of her hopes and fears intertwined. She thought of the potential harmony with Ethan, the friendship they could rebuild, and what awaited her at the open mic. As the last note lingered in the air, she felt a sense of calm settle over her. It was more than a performance. It was a declaration. It was her chance to step into the light. Suddenly, her phone buzzed on her nightstand. She picked it up, excitement bubbling as she saw a message from Ethan. Hey. Just wanted to say I'm really looking forward to hearing you play tomorrow. You'll crush it. And I'll be right there with you. Lily's stomach did a flip. His words hit her like a wave of encouragement, lifting her spirits higher. She put down her phone, a smile on her face, feeling ready for whatever tomorrow might bring. But in the back of her mind, a shadow lingered, whispering worries of what this transformation might really mean for her future with Ethan. What was waiting for her on that stage, and could she truly handle the weight of the past mixing with the hope for a brighter future? The sun broke the horizon the next morning, spilling golden light across Lily's room. She rolled over, the flutter of nerves stirring her awake. Today was the day. The open mic night felt like a soft whisper and a loud scream all at once. She dressed quickly, heart racing as she wondered if she could really put herself out there. As she moved through the morning routine, her thoughts darted back to Ethan, his encouraging words swirling in her mind. You'll crush it. The statement replayed over and over, a mantra she hoped would drown out her fears. By the time she reached the venue, the crowd was already thick in front of the small cafe. The smell of freshly brewed coffee and baked goods mingled with the buzz of laughter and conversation. Each step felt like an eternity as she approached the stage. Her hands trembled slightly as she clutched her guitar case. Lily watched a few performers before her. They were effortlessly charming, their melodies dancing in the air as they joked with the audience. The lights glimmered above them, and the warmth of the crowd seemed to coil around their music like a hug. What if I can't do this? The doubt crept in, darkening her thoughts. But just as quickly, the image of her mother's encouraging smile and Ethan's text washed over her. With a deep breath, she reminded herself that this was about more than just her music, it was about reclaiming a part of herself she thought she had lost. Finally, it was her turn. The MC announced her name, and Lily felt the spotlight's warmth hit her like a wave. She stepped onto the stage, the world fading until it was just her and the microphone. She glanced at Ethan, who gave her a thumbs up. It felt like he was there with her, heart racing alongside hers. With shaky hands, she unpacked her guitar and sat down at the piano, taking a moment to gather her thoughts. Okay, here we go, she whispered to herself, forcing a smile. The crowd hushed, their eager faces shimmering under the lights. She began with a gentle strum of her guitar, the familiar sound easing her tension. The first song flowed from her like water, each note spilling out her heart and soul. Those initial fears began to drift away as she lost herself in the music. Each chord struck deeper than the last, and she could see the crowd swaying, truly listening. The applause that erupted when she finished sent a rush of warmth through her. It wasn't just the sound of their appreciation, it was the feeling of connection. She was no longer just a girl with a broken past, she was an artist, sharing her truth. Ethan's face lit up with pride. True joy radiated from him, and the anxiety that once gnawed at her began to dissipate. This moment wasn't just about music or facing a fear, it was about healing. As she moved into her next song, a pensive ballad that spoke of memories and hopes for the future, she felt something shift in the air. Lily poured every ounce of affection and longing into the keys, every note a bridge to Ethan standing in the audience. She could almost see the memories of their shared smiles and laughter meld with what could be if only were willing to reach out. When she finished, the crowd erupted into applause once again, but the sound was muffled to her ears. Her eyes were locked on Ethan, a question hanging in the silence between them that needed no words. What did this performance mean for them? As she stepped off stage, her heart thundered, not out of fear but of possibility. That exhilarating feeling was met by a mix of uncertainty. Would they both have the courage to explore what lay ahead, to revive what they had lost? But just as those thoughts whirled in her head, she noticed Ethan approaching, his expression a blend of admiration and something deeper. And in that moment, everything felt electric. "Hey," he said, his voice barely audible over the noise. "You were amazing, Lily, can we talk?" The anticipation in her chest swelled. This was a moment that could either lead to a renewal or another heartbreak. Lily inhaled deeply, ready for whatever would come next. Lily stood there, breathless and exhilarated, the vibrant energy of the audience still humming in her veins. As Ethan stepped closer, a mix of hope and uncertainty swirled inside her chest. This was the moment, the crossroads that could intertwine their futures or leave them just as they were, two friends caught in the echoes of a shared past. "Thanks," she managed, nerves dancing across her fingers. I felt the music for the first time." Ethan's eyes sparkled with sincerity. "You let us feel it too. It was incredible. I'm so proud of you." The weight of his words wrapped around her like a warm blanket, easing the butterflies in her stomach. "Can we go somewhere more private? I want to talk about everything," he suggested, his voice low. The glow of the cafe lights dimmed as they stepped outside into the cool night air, leaving the chaos behind. Once outside, the stars twinkled brightly above them, a backdrop for whatever magic might unfold. Ethan leaned against the wall, running a hand through his hair as he looked contemplative. "You know, when I heard you play just now, it reminded me of all those nights we used to sing and dream about what we'd do someday." Lily felt a rush of nostalgia, chasing after laughter that felt both far away and close. "Yeah, I remember. We were so naive. I wanted it all back then." He shifted slightly, searching her eyes. "Do you still want it all?" "Yes," she breathed, the seriousness of his question crashing over her. "I don't just want to play, I want it to mean something." She hesitated for a moment. "Just like you mean something to me." His gaze softened, recognizing the challenge between them. "I want to support you, Lily. But I want to support us too. I've missed you." The sincerity in his voice surged through her. In that moment, she saw the potential for a future they could build together beyond their childhood dreams. "What about your plans? I know you were thinking of moving away," she asked, her heart racing at the thought of him leaving again. Ethan shrugged slightly. "This is home. And home is where you are. I've been so confused about all of it, but after hearing you tonight, I know I can't ignore it anymore." "This isn't just about music, is it?" "No, it's not," she admitted. "It's about rediscovering who we are and what we mean to each other." As the silence settled, Lily felt the weight of everything she'd experienced, the doubts, the fears fading like the remaining echoes of applause inside the cafe. She reached for his hand, intertwining her fingers with his. The connection was electric, bridge building between their uncertain futures. "Can we really face this together?" she asked, her voice just above a whisper. "Can you stand by me while I chase my dreams?" Ethan nodded, his expression earnest and unwavering. "Absolutely. I'll never let you go alone again." A radiant smile broke across her face as warmth flooded her heart. They were no longer just Lily and Ethan, drifting apart with time and distance. They were a duo once more, ready to navigate the tides together, lovers of music, partners in dreams, and friends seeking their paths. The air felt lighter as they strolled back inside. The sounds of the cafe enveloped them, filled with laughter and music, a backdrop for their new beginning. Lily glanced back at the stage, where she had found her voice, and then to Ethan, who stood beside her, ready to explore whatever lay ahead. "Thank you for being there for me," she said, squeezing his hand gently. "For believing in me." "Always," he replied with conviction. "Let us make this happen together." As they rejoined the crowd, they matured with a powerful understanding that this new chapter was just beginning. Lily glanced over at Carol, who was chatting excitedly with some other parents. Their eyes locked for a moment, and Lily felt reassurance in her mother's smile that everything was going to be okay. The night held promises, as dreams took shape in the vibrant energy of the cafe. Amidst laughter and applause, Lily felt alive, filled with purpose, passion, and the boundless support of Ethan by her side. Together, they would face whatever the world threw at them, armed with music and love, a symphony of dreams finally coming true, and as the final notes of the night harmonized in the air, Lily knew this was her moment to shine. So, if you felt every bit of that transformation and want to be part of the next journey, this is your chance. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to show you're with us and feed the algorithm. Comment your feelings about this ending and what you believe is next for Lily and Ethan. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Don't wait not even one more second. Your support matters, and only true fans understand its importance.